Hey everybody, I'm Shaun Blakeney, Senior Pastor of Anchor Church, and welcome to Afterthought. This is the podcast where we go back into the message and talk about all the things I didn't get to say, wished I'd said, or wanted to go deeper on. Think of this as the sermon after the sermon. Unfiltered, honest, and from the heart. I'm grateful you're here. I'm excited for what God is going to do through this podcast. Now, let's dive in today's Afterthought. Well, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Afterthought. This is that podcast we're doing every week to talk about the things I didn't say, wanted to say, the way I didn't get to really fully express myself in the sermon. And as always, I have my beautiful counterpart, the amazing, the glorious, the talented.
Oh, gosh.
Mrs. Teresa Blakeney. Hey, we love doing these podcasts, and we hope you do too. And not that you like doing them, but you like listening to them. And so if you'd love to comment, subscribe, like, share this with a friend, we'd love to hear your comments. Teresa reads.
I do.
Every comment, and she fills me in every week on every comment. And so send those comments to us. We'd love to hear from you. And we started a brand new series this week, babe, called Songs of the Shepherd. And I have been reading through Psalms, and I've been so intrigued by David, his full transparency with the Lord, his authenticity to write to the Lord. I told the church last weekend that I'm just so amazed at how he would write to the Lord and go, my enemies, Lord, kill them all. I'm just like, that is aggressive, David.
Yeah.
Like, as mad as I've been at people, I've never asked the Lord to wipe out a whole nation. But it's so incredible how David just has this full transparency for the Lord, yet he's this amazing, tender songwriter and then like a fierce, aggressive warrior. And that's the heart of the worshiper, you know. And I've just been intrigued by Psalms. And so we've been processing through, in this series, we're going to be processing through some of the Psalms of David. But I wanted to unpack this week, it's quite honestly my favorite Psalm.
Yeah.
Psalm 23. And the reason why it's my favorite Psalm, I don't know if you ever know this or not, but it is the first Bible verse I ever memorized.
Wow.
And when I was in grade school, our youth pastor at the time, his name was Don Pace. And Don Pace wanted us all to memorize Psalm 23. And I remember like thinking to myself, there's no way I could memorize a whole chapter, let alone like a verse, let alone a chapter. And so every week we had children's church. Remember, we had kids' church back in the day. And we would go and we would each say, like, first week was like, the Lord is my shepherd, I want for nothing. And we go memorize that week and come back and we say it. And then we just, by the end of the couple months, we had this whole Psalm memorized, and to this day I've never forgotten it. Like, I'm 53 years old and I've never forgotten the Psalm.
That is so funny because I didn't know that about you, but for me, when I was in high school choir, we sang this psalm in a song, and I was not a believer. I had never been exposed to church much at that point in high school, and we sang this song, and I thought it was so beautiful, and I don't know if I quite understood what all the words meant, but I loved it so much. I stole the sheet music for it. I still have it. It's so weird. It's in the piano bench, but I've had it all these years. But I never turned it back into the choir director.
For anybody out there that doesn't know Teresa Blakeney is a rule follower. I've never in my life heard of her stealing anything. And to think that you stole sheet music to Psalm 23 is even more aggressive.
It just impacted me. It's so weird. I never would have thought of keeping it, but I did. And
do you remember the song?
I do, and I won't sing it for you, but I remember exactly how it goes. That's how I know this psalm.
Let's hear let's hear a snippet.
I still can't sing. I still have a little bit of laryngitis.
Let's hear a snippet of it.
Nope, not going to happen.
Dang. You want to hear it, don't you, Laura? I kind of want to hear it right now. I kind of want to hear Marge Simpson singing, "Hey, Homer, hey, Homer."
That's what it feels like.
No, but I remember, and the crazy thing is, when I memorized Psalm 23, it was in the old King James version. So now when I read like the New Living Translation, it's so different than because I'm like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. Yes. He leadeth me beside the still waters. I remember as a kid memorizing that and like thinking I was so studious because I knew the King James version of leadeth and taketh and showeth thy path, O Lord. But Psalm 23 is an amazing passage in Psalms, and it's one of the most well-known.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know this or not, but David actually did not write this psalm as a young kid.
I didn't know that.
He was a grown man.
Okay.
Most scholars believe he was very old, and when he wrote the psalm, he was remembering his life as a shepherd, tending the sheep. And it was almost reflective as he wrote it. And the writing was him processing his life when he was younger and how he was never the shepherd. He was always one of the sheep. And so it's going back to this idea, this analogy, if you will, of him in his head going, man, I'm a grown man now, thinking back on when I was a shepherd, but I really was never the shepherd. He has always been my shepherd.
Yeah.
And this is what he does for me. And that was the beauty of unpacking, Psalm 23. And what I titled this week was The Shepherd's Cry. And because if you read Psalm 23, it's so beautiful the way David writes it. I mean, he is just giving us wisdom, purpose, direction, insight. All of this flows into the fact that God is our shepherd and we are the sheep. And the crazy thing is we have always been sheep and we will always.
Yes.
We've always been, always will be sheep. And I think sometimes we get in our mindset that like, I've matured now. I've gotten to a place where I'm leading now. And when it comes to our relationship with the Lord, we are always the sheep. Sheep are not intelligent.
Nope.
Sheep will do some crazy things. And we just have to realize that we need the shepherd, which is what David's writing was all about. So I got a couple questions here,
okay,
babe. I'm gonna start off here because we're talking about the shepherd leading, the shepherd guiding, the shepherd directing. So I started thinking about directions and following directions and how we follow directions in life. So I just a quick question for us here to kind of open the door for this podcast. But first of all, between the two of us, who is better at directions and who gets lost easier?
Well, that depends. I'm better at directions. I can get us. You give me a map, I can get us anywhere. But I'm going to say, if you're just talking about intuitively, you definitely have a sense of direction. I don't, and so I would get lost easier. But I don't get lost because I always have a map and I follow directions. Unlike you, who never refer to directions or instructions that are provided, and you just go with your gut always.
But the crazy thing is, my gut is always pretty on point.
Except when you don't follow instructions, like for putting things together. And we have a bookshelf at the end of the hallway that has holes on the front side facing out because that piece of wood was put in backwards.
Yeah.
We still have it. It just points to that. You just intuitively do things like that. So
what you should know about me is what she's referring to is when we put stuff together, I don't ever pull out the instruction manual. I typically just prefer to just see how things go.
Find out
so
how many
we
screws
have
they put in
certain
extra.
things in our house that I've put together that have the holes on the front side because I didn't put on the back side. And then you lose patience and you decide, why would I take this apart and do it the right way when it's fully functional? Yeah, so now in our 30 years of marriage, Teresa puts most things together because A, she likes to, and B, because she likes to have them done the right way.
That's right. I follow instructions. I do directions very well.
You do.
You intuitively really do have good sense of direction.
Let me tell you where I do not have intuitive, good understanding of directions is when we go to Disney. I don't know why.
Yes.
Yeah, you've seen me lose it.
Disney can do better.
You've seen me lose it, babe. Because there's this one hotel that we always stay at, and you have to do this U-turn and take this little access road, and I always feel like we're going to die. I feel like this is not the right road. We're driving into Doomland, and you're like, no, it's going to open up right up here, and then we just all of a sudden, and I do it every time, and I get so frustrated. This is not right. It's dark. It's like this is death. This is the Tower of Terror.
Or trying to get to our favorite McDonald's at Disney.
Yeah.
How many little
Marissa,
arguments have we gotten in just trying to get there or out of there?
Listen, Matt will appreciate this for a guy that loves when I say loves McDonald's, this is not even like Matt likes McDonald's. This is like, I think every day of his life. Laura, you'd attest to this. Every day this man has McDonald's. McChicken, am I right? McChicken, oh, this guy goes for it all the time. And you get like an orange drink or something. You get like High C or something. High C orange, baby. But we have this McDonald's that we love. Yo, dude, it looks like Tesla built this McDonald's.
It's pretty cool looking. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the coolest thing. They have automatic curtains, but they're not curtains. They're what? They're blinds, shutters that all are based on the sunlight. So the sun comes up, they tilt down. it's the cool, and you don't ever really see anybody. You just order on this like little computer, and they're like, it's not robotic, but they like someone brings that to you. Like, where did you come from, sir? Like, it is the coolest McDonald's. Yeah. So we have this McDonald's we go to, and every time we go to it, it feels like we're driving to nowhere.
We've gone past it. I don't know why we can't figure that out.
You know how we started finding it is because Marissa, last time we went, she's so smart. She pinned it for us. So now she just sends us to us. She's like, we're going to McDonald's. She goes, I'll send you the pin. I'm like, you are the best daughter-in-law on the planet. Otherwise, we would get lost. But I kind of do okay with directions. But I do know that one of my biggest pet peeves on the planet is not to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You've experienced that, babe.
I have.
It's not a fun thing.
Yeah. Case in point.
Yeah.
Going to that McDonald's.
Yeah.
We know we're trying to get to the park from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And so we exit the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we know where we need to go, but you can't turn the direction we needed to go. So we had to turn. We wanted to go straight onto the road that would take us up, but we couldn't. So we had to turn. And so now we're off. And Disney just doesn't have great roundabout or just turning places.
And even if they do have one, you go 3 miles to do a U-turn.
You have to go to the next park to turn around and come back to the other park. So it is frustrating.
Listen,
and
you're
when
probably
we don't
wanting
know
to
what
hear
we're doing,
about trusting the Lord, but this is a topic that we have to address right now. Disney, if you're listening to this right now, which I'm sure you'd listen to most all of our podcasts, you guys need to have some different access roads. I don't want to drive 3 miles to do a U-turn. That's where I get mad. It's like, you missed your turn. Great. 6 miles down the road, you can do a U-turn.
Right.
It makes me unhappy.
Yeah.
But, babe, we digress. Back to trusting the Lord.
Okay.
All right, babe. Let me see if I got. Let's see. I got some questions. Oh, okay. Let me ask you this question. I know I have it down here for you to ask me this question, but I was thinking about this for a second because when I wrote it, I said if we owned actual sheep, who do you think would be better shepherd, you or me? And I think based on the fact that I had chickens and I raised chickens, I would probably be the better shepherd.
No, because
we
had children, and I pretty much raised those children. I would say maybe I would be the shepherd. It's just not that I raised them, but I have that maternal instinct. It's just in me. You just don't. So it has nothing to do with what we have raised or what we have not raised. It comes much more naturally.
Laura, we should title this podcast "Throwing Shade on Shaun." Horrible at directions, horrible at leading our kids. I'm just like...
No, I just feel like I would shepherd them better because I care about every aspect about them, not just the eggs, going out and getting eggs.
But I feel like when it comes to our kids, I was more tender. You don't think I was tender?
We could ask them. No, I was the one that when they were hurt, they would come to me because I would...
All right, we're doing this live on the air.
I would love them. And
Matt, go get Austin real fast. He's going to come answer this
question.
Oh,
my word.
He's not even...
You know when they would get hurt.
We're going to bring him out right now.
You know when they get hurt.
We're going to...
What did you do?
What did I do?
When they get hurt, what would you do?
Well, let's ask Austin. Let's ask Austin what I would do.
Okay, I won't disclose
because
the answer to
I feel like from the mouth of the babes, we just need to have... we need to find out really, truly here who was the most tender in raising these kids. I feel like I know the audience right now is really wanting to hear about trusting the Lord, but actually I just feel like they'd much rather.
The better parent?
I actually feel like they'd much rather hear about who's the better parent in our relationship.
Okay.
I do think I had my moments, but I was very loving. I was caring.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, don't you think?
Of course.
Okay, Austin, I'm not prepared for this, but you need to come over here because we're having a very deep discussion here on trusting the Lord, and somehow it went into how Mom and I parented. And who was the more tender parent? Can you come over here and let us know who the most tender parent is here in this relationship?
Both of them and neither of them at the same time.
What?
Austin, who's the parent you would go to get what you wanted?
Ooh. Curious to see how you answer that.
If I'm being honest, I figured it was a no from both of you guys.
Brutally honest here.
But let me say, I did not get mad that often, but when I did get mad, I got mad. Now, I will say, in my defense, when I did get mad, it was probably a little...
Extra.
But...
over things that didn't matter.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah,
there we go. The truth comes out. They would be hurt and you would get mad at them for getting hurt. But I just wanted to love on them, make them feel better.
But I would get mad too because you could have prevented it.
See,
I understand it.
see. This is. Let me just say, this is the beauty of your kids having kids, because now what Austin is saying is so logical. I can understand now, Dad, why you got mad, because you were trying to prevent something that should have been prevented, and then we hurt ourselves. I eat, then I get mad.
But they're still
because you
hurt.
see it come. They're still hurt, which kills me. Oh my goodness, I hate when they're hurt. Like,
You're not mad at them. You're mad at the situation.
exactly.
Correct the action later.
Okay.
Love them
Let me
when
give
they're
an
hurt.
example here while we're on this topic.
Oh gosh.
We would tell Alyssa all the time, do not put your face down to a dog's face. You cannot trust the dog. Dogs are animals. They mean well, but they have their moments. So we had this conversation multiple times.
Because she loved dogs. It was hard to
She
keep her
wanted to
away.
be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
She loved dogs. I took her to the park one time to play. We lived in California. She bent her face down to a Pomeranian, and the dog jumped up, bit her in the mouth, and sliced her open from here to here. We had to go to the emergency room and get stitches. Now, was I mad? I was not mad in that moment. I was more like, oh my gosh, what happened to my kid? And I wanted to kill that dog. But I was, after the stitches and after she was fine, we were like, now, do you see why we do not put our face down on a dog's face? But I didn't get as mad then. But would you have gotten mad?
I don't know.
If that was Levi?
Maybe, because I definitely told him.
See, it's like, so I think in my defense, Austin, I'm so glad you came out here and cleared this up. This was
Yeah, thank you so much.
this was a definite deep discussion. By the way, Austin, who do you think, in regards to Mom and I, if we had sheep, which of us would be the better shepherd? That's a very good question.
There you go.
Dang it.
And the only reason I say this is she's Captain Safety.
Yep.
That's true. So if you don't know, Teresa's nickname is Captain Safety. The reason why Teresa's name is Captain Safety is because there is a protocol for everything. Like when we were at our last church, Teresa had a rendezvous point. If there's a fire, if there's a shooter, if there's a natural disaster, we are going to climb this fence over here, and we will all meet at a rendezvous point over here, and we had to walk it out as a family to know where the rendezvous point was. So if our kids were separated from us, in youth or in kids, and you and I weren't together, we would all know exactly where to meet. So we had to walk over and see where the fence is, see where the opening was, and know exactly where to go.
That is so critical, though, because we were never the same. We all served in different areas. We were almost never together when we were at the church. So we all had to have a plan of how we could recover to the same area and know each other's first name.
Now, let's speak about this in regards to sheep, because sheep are very dumb animals. You couldn't have had a conversation with a sheep to be like, hey, meet me over on the other side of the fence, blah, 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 because the sheep would be like, okay, there you go, where everyone else goes. So that would be a really tough thing to be Captain Safety and tell your sheep what to do, because they probably wouldn't do
No,
it.
whatever.
By the way, Austin, I also just learned something very incredible about your mom. Captain Safety herself, who follows everything by the rule, stole sheep music when she was in school. And to this day, it's in our piano. No wonder we have to anoint our. It's in the piano bench. So no wonder the piano's out of tune, and no wonder we have to completely anoint our house every week, because there's this devastating thievery that has happened in our house, and it's not even just sheep music; it's Psalm 23.
It is.
See, after you know the details, guess who becomes the better shepherd?
Right.
This guy. Who's got two thumbs and the better shepherd?
We have truly digressed today.
We have totally digressed. Okay, let's flip it on its head, babe. All right, let's get deep.
Okay.
Ask me a question,
Okay.
because you are the most spiritual one here. So we have,
So-
babe. Matt just told me all we have is 5 minutes left. So let's make these.
Really? Oh my word!
Listen, I was going to apologize, everybody, but this has been the most glorious podcast. Look at Laura; she's laughing like crazy. This has been the best podcast on the planet. We have dialed in on some incredible things. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. Let's make it spiritual. Bring it home,
this
girl.
is
People
all
need
about
Jesus.
leadership
Okay.
and God's leadership. Why do you think it's so hard for us as the sheep to follow His leadership?
I think
Obviously,
because I never want to be a sheep. I think the reason why it's so hard for me to trust the Lord is because I want to be the shepherd.
Okay.
Like, I feel like for me, like, I love to be in control. I have control issues.
Yes.
If you've ever asked me, hey, do you want to go somewhere? You want me to drive? No, I don't want to ride with you. Not because I don't trust you, but because I want to drive. I am a control freak. Like, if I don't drive, I don't like that. I like to be in control. I love to be in control of my life. And so following Jesus is so hard, which is why I said no to starting Anchor Church for 2.5 years, because God kept calling me. I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. And so I feel like for me, the reason why it's so hard to follow the Lord is because I want to do what I want to do, not what he wants me to do. And I know following him is the best thing I could ever do in my life. And I know that, but for some reason, I always think my way is better.
Yeah. And I think if we ever stop to think, I mean, he obviously knows everything.
Yeah.
He knows more about us than we know about ourselves. He knows the future. He knows the purpose he put in us. Obviously, what he has for us is going to be best.
Yeah.
And we still fight against that. We still want to control
all the time,
even though we know nothing more than just
all the time.
The moments in front of us.
Okay, think about a sheep. I think about a sheep where the shepherd will pull them in, pull them away from danger, right? Pull them away from danger. And 3 minutes later, they're walking back at the same place. He pulls them away from the edge of a cliff. 3 minutes later, they're right back at the edge of the cliff. And I feel like that's mostly our tendency, is we're always wanting to go in our way and do our thing, what feels good, what feels right. And we know that the Lord protects, the Lord guides. We know his presence, his wisdom. We know all that. But for some reason, I want to trust my own.
Right.
And what I've realized in my own life is when I get tired is when I want to access more of what I want versus what God wants. And I know that in my tired, I probably take more control. When I'm in his word, when I'm more connected with him, I trust him more. And it's not that I don't trust him, but I feel like when I'm tired, I lose trust because I want to trust myself. Because if I don't know the outcome, that scares me. Like, I think about all the stuff right now we're going through with the building, and we're trying to build it out and all this kind of stuff. And I am trying to push it forward. And yet I need to trust God's timing in it. You know, I was just processing that this morning. I'm like, I'm trying to let's get contractor here. Let's do that. All these things. Let's get money. And if God's pumping the brakes, then I need to trust God when he pumps the brakes.
Right.
And sometimes when God pumps the brakes, I press on the accelerator. And I think that that's what I do a lot of times in my life is I know I'm a sheep and I know I need to trust the shepherd, but sometimes it's just hard because God's timing is not my timing. And I sometimes think that delay is denial, but it's not. It's just delay. And I have to trust that, you know?
And I think trust is the bottom line here. We have to be able to stop and evaluate the things that God has done for us past, that our trust has been built through, so that in those moments when you're like, oh, I don't want to follow what he's saying necessarily, but I have to trust. He's proven himself.
Yeah.
You know, I think about my healing that I had from the seizures and stuff. I feel like I could trust the Lord with a lot of stuff, but when it comes to your health, that's not something I can control. I can't control that I was having the seizures. I had to trust him.
Completely,
and when he comes me
him,
through that, now I'm like, man, I trusted him. He came through. He healed me. That's nothing I could have done caused that. But he came through. And now I can look back on that constantly going, okay, you know, I feel like I know the best way to go here. But you know what? He's the right way. And he's proven that. And it makes it so much easier to trust and to follow when you stop and reevaluate what you've been through, how he's come through every time, and how you can rely on that moving forward.
Yeah, I think as we wrap up, honey, that's a great place for us to stop, because if you're watching and you're listening and you're thinking to yourself, man, I feel like I like to control my life, whatever, you are in the same boat. We are all in. Yeah. Trusting the Lord is so rewarding, but it is so hard. And I think the reason why it's so hard is because we want what we want. And what David writes, let's go back, let's wrap it up with a nice little bow.
Okay.
When David says in Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, right? I want for nothing.
Right.
I think basically in other translations, he says, the Lord is my shepherd. He gives me all that I need. Yeah. And I read that over and over and over again in the New Living Translation. He will give me all that I need. Notice David didn't say he gives me what I want.
Right.
And I think that's where we get frustrated with the Lord, because we want this relationship. We want this job. We want this position. We want this authority. We want this person. And I think what happens is we get frustrated that, God, you're not giving me what I want. But David never said that God would give. Scripture doesn't say God will give you what you want. He will give you what you need. And I think that's the best place for us to start that reliance on God, is just knowing that he's the good shepherd and he gives us what we need. And so whatever you need today, whatever you feel deficient in today, just know that we serve a God who's the great shepherd, who's leading you and guiding you and giving you daily what you need. Maybe not what you want. So don't lose frustration if you don't get what you want. Just trust that the Lord is giving you exactly what you need. Well, we love you guys so much. Hopefully today was fun. We had Austin, little special guest, little Lincoln popping in here. So now you all know who's the better shepherd. She did this at the exact same time. Hey, we love you. Hey, listen, like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'd love to hear your comments. Let us know who the best shepherd is. See ya.